Good morning. Thank you to the host who has introduced me. It is my great pleasure to be one of the speakers and lecturer for the General Education Leader Lecture Series in the National Kumho University, Taiwan. I would like to express my sincere thanks and gratitude, especially to the President of National Kumho University, His Excellency Professor Dr. Chin Min Chen, my friend Dr. Yen, Dr. Su, and all faculty members of National Kumho University for giving me this golden opportunity for sharing very interesting topic of Indonesian tourism industry post-COVID-19. To be honest, actually, I really want to speak directly to you at National Kumho University, which was actually scheduled on last 6th of May. But due to the COVID-19 pandemic condition in Taiwan and several countries that have not recovered, so I made this video presentation. Dear students, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me start my presentation. To start my presentation, I would like to show a video about Indonesian tourism. This is not an official Indonesian tourism promotion video from the Ministry of Tourism, but this is the winner of the World Tourism Video Competition organized by UNWTO in the category of the best tourism video in the Asia Pacific region, and the People Choice Award with the title Wonderful Indonesia, The Journey to the Wonderful World. Let's see the video.
Do you believe in wonders? In the warmth that touches your heart? In the wind that brings joy to your soul? It's a calling that starts you on a journey, awakens all of your senses. There are smiles and laughter, embracing and welcoming. Your heart leaps. To a land that takes you in its heritage, in the richness of its culture, in the liveliness of its people. Excitement, waves of never-ending challenges, taking you deeper. Further, higher. Over there, the path lies before you. The beauty draws you in. The colors bring life to imaginations. From the tallest peak, to the deepest depth, in this land, every step leads to a different discovery, and a simple sound may lead to unexpected encounters. Togetherness, warmed by a fragrant aroma.
To places with the colors that I wish
An adventure spurred by a shared taste for the unknown.
make all of this last longer. Here in the hidden paradise, I'm sure I feel it coming. The soul I've lost in changes. I dream about this scene here in the hidden paradise. I feel it getting closer now. I've seen the world in highs and lows, but never like this way before. I'm sure I feel it coming. The soul I've lost in changes.
The deeper you look, the more you see. It's like finding yourself and see what lies within. The passion, the senses, the wonders.
I've seen the world in highs and lows, but never like
Now,
this way before.
it's time to continue the story. Because I believe more wonders are waiting to be discovered
I've died, I've
in
gone,
the
but
never-ending
now
journey
reborn.
of senses. Sense the wonders.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoy the video and get a little bit of an idea about tourism in Indonesia. And to understand the condition of tourism in Indonesia before, during, and during COVID-19 pandemic, let me share you some information about Indonesian tourism statistics. To give more information, especially for those of you who are not very familiar with Indonesia, let me share some information about Indonesia. Indonesia has an area of 1.9 million square kilometers, consisting of more than 17,000 islands, with a population of more than 273 million people, based on the data in the year 2021. And Indonesia has 1,340 ethnic groups and more than 700 languages. So it is why we have a motto of unity in diversity. Ladies and gentlemen, the following is the statistical data on Indonesian tourism before and during the COVID-19 pandemic. The number of foreign tourists in 2019, or before the pandemic, reached 16 million people. And after the pandemic came, the number of foreign tourists fell to 5 million people, or the decrease by 74.9%. Luckily, we have quite a large number of domestic tourists, although it is also decreased by 29.93%. Meanwhile, foreign exchange earnings from the tourism sector also fell from 16.9 billion US dollar before the pandemic and only 3.5 billion US dollar in year 2020, or decrease of 79%. and more than 1 million tourism workers have to be laid out in Indonesia during the pandemic. Dear students, ladies and gentlemen, the following is the Indonesia's tourism statistical data with a different diagram that I have described above. But the tourism foreign exchange earning, the tourism contribution to GDP around 4.05 in year 2020. And then we estimate that in the year 2022 become 4.3. This is the tourism contribution to GDP. And this is the number of tourism manpower, as I mentioned before, that in year 2020, we have 13.96 million people. And in the year 2022, hopefully we can increase the number of tourism manpower to 14.73. And this is data of Travel and Tourism Competitiveness Index. Indonesia has a ranking of 40 in the world for the Travel and Tourism Competitiveness Index. And then this is the realization of tourism investment and realization of TCE credit distribution. Ladies and gentlemen, I will show you the latest data on the condition of COVID-19 in several ASEAN countries at this time. I took this data on 22nd of May, 2022. In Thailand, the total number of cases to date is 4.42 million people, with the addition of 4,099 cases per day. While in Vietnam, you can see from this data, the total number of cases to date is 10.71 million people, with the addition of 1,319 cases per day. In Malaysia, the total number of cases to date is 4.49 million people, with the addition of 1,817 cases per day. Meanwhile, in Singapore, the total number of cases to date is 1.2 million people, with the addition of 0 cases per day. And this is the data of Indonesia. In Indonesia, the total number of cases to date is 6.05 million people, with an additional 227 cases per day. Ladies and gentlemen, with the pandemic of COVID-19 for more than 2 years, there has been a change in behavior in tourism. This behavioral change in tourism, such as before the pandemic, the number of tourists ranged from 20 to 60 years. Meanwhile, after the pandemic, most of tourists are young people because older people are more risky to travel. And previously, tourists traveled more in a group or with family, but now they prefer to travel individually or in a small group. And as we know that before pandemic, tourists wanted cheap and viral tour package prices, but currently tourists prefer tours and meet the standard of cleanliness, health, and safety. In the past, crowded and viral tourist attractions were in great demand, while now tourists prefer tourist attractions with fresh air, rivers, sea, and outdoor activities. And for amenities, tourists are now looking for amenities with a health label and certification for each amenity. And before the pandemic, tourists were looking for affordable transportation. But now they are looking for direct flights and short-haul flights. And now the tourists want to have a minimum human relation, and digitalization and promotion, ticket sales, and payments are preferred. So this is the change in tourism behavior that we have to face today. Ladies and gentlemen, with the pandemic and change in behavior above, the Indonesian tourism minister makes programs and policies to revive or recover tourism and the creative economy in year 2022. And I'm very proud that our Minister of Tourism, Mr. Sandiaga Uno, has been invited as one of a keynote speaker at the United Nations session on 4th to 5th May 2022 and received very high appreciations from all countries. Even Indonesia's tourism recovery program is used as a reference for other countries. And some of the slides that I show today, I took from the presentation of the Indonesian Tourism Minister, Mr. Sandiaga Uno at the United Nations. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of Republic of Indonesia, Mr. Joko Widodo, is also very concerned with the revival of Indonesian tourism, because from the beginning of his administration, he has determined that tourism is become the locomotive of Indonesian economy. These are the direction of the President of the Republic of Indonesia regarding tourism and creative economy. The first direction is acceleration of infrastructure development in 5 super priority tourism destinations. For your information, that we have 5 super priority tourism destinations, namely Borobudur, Mandalika, Likupang, Labuan Bajo, and Danau Toba. And the second direction is preparation of calendar of events in every destination, especially in 5 super priority destinations. Next, the third direction is implementation of CHSE, or cleanliness, health, safety, and environment sustainability aspects in every tourism destination so that tourists feel safe and comfortable. And the last direction from the President is creative economy is the locomotive of job creation, especially for sectors that absorb and move the economy. And from this direction of the President, we have 3 platforms of the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy: innovation, adaptation, and collaboration. Ladies and gentlemen, the direction from President Joko Widodo is stated in the Indonesia tourism sector recovery by the Ministry of Tourism. The first in destination revitalization and upgrading market confidence. We have a program of acceleration of vaccination programs and the creation of the herd immunity in the priority destination. And now most of the people in Indonesia have been vaccinated, the complete vaccination and booster vaccination. And the second is expansion of CHSE certification and Indonesia Care campaign. And then we have also a program of reskilling and upskilling of tourism workers, destination arrangement and management, including tourism village, or we call it as a desa wisata. Industry activation through the health worker incentive program, and we have the program of visa movement. We increased the resilience of the industry through capital support. Ladies and gentlemen, in the Indonesian tourism sector recovery, we have also the program for domestic demand recovery. And the program as follows: domestic travel regulation adjustment, value-added tourism product such as MICE, sport tourism, charisma, even Nusantara. And for the tourism promotion, we have also some link like Proud to Travel, and Di Indonesia Aja, and Beli Kreatif Lokal, and so on. We have also incentive program like Big Promo, thematic education tour, and we have the creative product strengthening. And for the continuing development, according to the National Long-Term Development Plan, or we call it RPJMN, this is also one of the program in Indonesian tourism sector recovery. The program is completion of construction of 5 super priority destinations according to ITMP, revitalization of Bali and other leading destinations toward quality and sustainable tourism. As you know that Bali is one of the main tourism destinations in Indonesia, and with this program, our government, or we try to create 5 new Bali in Indonesia. We call it as a 5 super priority destination. And the second program for the continuing development according to the National Long-Term Development Plan is digitalization and creative product development. And this is also one of the most important program in our tourism industry in Indonesia. And for international demand recovery, we develop routes and priority zone for safe travel destination. We have also pilot project in safe destination and gradual opening through TCA, or travel bubble, which I will explain later about the travel bubble and TCA. We have also adjustment program of international travel and visa regulation. Today, the foreign tourists, they don't have to do the quarantine, but still they have to be negative for PCR test. And the travel insurance must be including COVID-19. And the government also had a program that direct flights to key destinations with a focus on selected markets. We use the promotion. We do the promotion by using the big data with the data science, data analysis. And last but not least, to create the international demand recovery, the international bidding for MICE and events. Ladies and gentlemen, furthermore, in more detail, the Indonesian government also makes tourism policies to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic. For managing the crisis and mitigating the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, the government prioritizing the safety of business actors, workers, and community. It is why that for the vaccination, we prioritize the tourism workers is as one of the priority. And then providing incentives to the Indonesian tourism workers. For the tourism workers have been laid off, the government gave an incentive every month before they can back to work in the industry. And the government also helping the liquidity of tourism business actors, incorporating tourism into priority program for national economic recovery, and developing crisis management strategies and mechanism. Ladies and gentlemen, the second tourism policy responding to the COVID-19 pandemic is accelerating recovery efforts. With a breakdown of the program, such as assistance for Indonesian tourism business actors in adapting new normal, and encouraging the productivity of Indonesian tourism business and tourism workers with digital adaptation, because most of the tourism business now is using the digital and IT. The next program is provide fiscal and non-fiscal stimulus to tourism business and workers. Development of the Indonesian domestic tourist market. This is also very important because we have a quite large number, quite big number of domestic tourist market in Indonesia. And building the market confidence in the tourism sector. One of the program is we have the CHSE certification. And the third or the last tourism policy responding to the COVID-19 pandemic is preparing for post-COVID-19 pandemic. And the programs are increased investment for the development of competitive tourism human resources, such as for the training program, for the education, certification, and so on. And the second program was strengthened tourism governance and crisis management, accelerating digital transformation and innovation in the tourism ecosystem. Drive accessibility and connectivity improvement with the Wi-Fi, with the 5G facilities from the Ministry of Communication, and then encouraging the development of quality market and destination, strengthening tourism for the achievement of sustainable development goals. And the last of the program for preparing post-COVID-19 pandemic is strengthening the tourism industry and investment ecosystem. Ladies and gentlemen, on the next slide, I will explain the Indonesia Tourism and Creative Economy Program in year 2022. In the human resource and institutional aspect, we have a program of training and certification of tourism and creative economy human resources, entrepreneurial human resource development, opening of job and business opportunity and collaboration between national and international level institutions. And for the destination aspect, we have a program of development of tourism villages or desa wisata, special economic zones, geoparks, implementation of sustainable tourism and DMODG, infrastructure development, deconcentration, special allocation funds for tourism, and tourism authority board development, such as in Bali, in Batam, and some other region in Indonesia. And for the marketing, the Ministry of Tourism has also many campaigns in the link of Dia Indonesia Aja, and then Istime for Bali, Beli Kreatif Lokal, tourism village promotion, and so on. And then for the tourism product, we facilitate product development and promotion of special interest tourism, increase bidding and MICE promotion activities, organize and support promotion, regional, national, and international events. And for creative economy, as we know that in Indonesia, creative economy is under Ministry of Tourism. So the name of our ministry is Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy. And this sector, we facilitate intellectual property rights. We call it HAKI, creative infrastructure support. And then there are some programs such as Backup, BBI, Game Prime, BIP, Aki, Bergerak, Akselerasi, and so on. Ladies and gentlemen, and for the supply and investigation, we create the supply chain strengthening, business standardization, business certification, SNI, or Indonesian National Standard of CHSE, business licensing services, investment project ready to offer, sustainable investment and financing, and Sharia financing investment. Sharia financing investment is kind of Islamic financing and investment. Ladies and gentlemen, to restore trust from the public, especially domestic and foreign tourists, the Indonesian government has created a tourism business certification using CHSE certification. CHSE certification is the process of granting certificates to the tourism business, tourism destination, and other tourism products to provide tourist guarantee of the implementation of cleanliness, health, safety, and environmental sustainability. This certification program is free of charge, and tourism businesses who meet the requirements will be given a certificate as shown in the slide, like this, with the logo of the Garuda state symbol and the Indonesia Care label. This is the Indonesia Care label. We can read also from this logo, I do care, which is stand for Indonesia Care. And it is the data on the year 2020 that there were 5,863 tourism businesses have been certified, and 913 tourism businesses still didn't pass the certification. It means they have to do better in implementing the CHSE program. And this is the data on year 2021. And this program also, we have a cooperation with the World Bank for the CHSE certification program. And the target of the year 2021 is 6,300 businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an example of CHSE certificate placed at entrance and strategic places in hotels and other tourism businesses. So the visitors or the tourists, if they see this certificate, they will have more confidence to go or to do the activities in the hotel or in this tourism business. The Ministry of Tourism also make a guidebooks for the implementation of CHSE in every tourism business, such as hotels, restaurants, MICE industry, tourist attraction, golf courses, and MICE in every tourism attraction in Indonesia. And to accelerate the growth of the tourism sector, the government of Republic of Indonesia has also created travel bubble plan or opening limited trips in Bali, Bintan, and Batam. However, the implementation of the policy takes into account the COVID-19 pandemic situation in the region. This is the example of the travel bubble zone in Batam, nearby Singapore and Malaysia. And also we have zone of travel corridor in Bali, Nusa Dua, Ubud, and Sanur. And the opening is done in stages and will be evaluated thoroughly. This is the precondition for the travel bubble zone. One is the pandemic must be under control and completed vaccination program and CHSE certification and industry readiness. This is the precondition of our travel bubble plan. Ladies and gentlemen, the tourism trend after the emergence of the COVID-19 virus is more toward nature-based tourism, optimizing the use of technology to reduce physical contact by using a cashless payments, digital information, and paying more attention to the aspects of cleanliness, health, safety, and environmental sustainability, or CHSE. It is why the Indonesian government also continues to develop 5 super priority tourism destinations, such as Borobudur. This is one of the biggest temple in the world, and Mandalika, which is Mandalika Circuit, international circuit located, Likupang, Labuan Bajo, and Danau Toba, because they are still in accordance with tourism demands after the COVID-19 pandemic. In the context of recovering the tourism sector post the COVID-19 pandemic, the government of Republic of Indonesia has also set a target to create 244 tourism villages in year 2021 to 2024. This is the target. In year 2021, there were 67 desa wisata or tourism villages, and in this year we targeted 63 desa wisata or tourism villages. And this is target of year 2023, 59 desa wisata And on 2024, the target is 55 desa wisata. So the total is 244 tourism village or desa wisata. Ladies and gentlemen, because Bali is one of the provinces most affected by COVID, and we know that Bali is one of the main tourism destination in Indonesia. A few months ago, the government launched a work from Bali program, where some cabinet ministers moved their offices to Bali. And with the election of Indonesia as the G20 presidency, the Indonesian government is holding the activities of most of the G20 meetings in Bali and will be closed with the G20 high-level conference on the 15th to 16th November 2022 in Bali. Dear students, ladies and gentlemen, the following is the media coverage of the pandemic situation in Indonesia in relation to the rise or revival of tourism in Indonesia after the COVID-19 pandemic. On 16th of May this year, President Jokowi allows people to do outdoor activities without face mask. And then there is also an article about foreign tourists can enter Bali without quarantine, but they must still be negative for PCR test. And as I show you in the last diagram, in the last slide, that daily cases of COVID-19 in Indonesia is dropped significantly. Dear students, ladies and gentlemen, finally, we come to the end of my presentation. I hope my presentation is beneficial and useful for all of you in maintaining the spirit of the revival of tourism industry, not only in Indonesia, but also in Taiwan and throughout the world. I hope that the COVID-19 pandemic in Taiwan, North Korea, China, and several other countries which are currently still quite high can return to normal soon. And the COVID-19 pandemic will end also soon. We hope to see you in Indonesia. Thank you.